Wow. All the way out there just can't imagine how fortunate and blessed I feel right now, this moment. And I just want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank in particular my shipmates over here, Chief Doug Burry, and Chief Chris Franklin for planning this ceremony and putting this all together. I mean, you can see it's a pretty big production, and they worked pretty hard to make it special for me and for my family. And I just, I just feel really blessed, really humbled right now. I have some things I'd like to share. I don't know that I'll share all of them. I have a lot of gratitude right now that I'm feeling. But just real quick, you know, becoming a Chief Petty Officer, I learned a lot of things, and some of the things have been alluded to by these two gentlemen behind me here, beside me. Prior to becoming a chief, I had really no idea what I was getting myself into. I learned a couple of really good lessons that I've carried with me throughout my career as a chief, which has been half of my career. Two real basic concepts that I want to share. One of them is, one of these gentlemen spoke about taking care of your people. Really didn't understand what that meant going into the induction and transitioning from a blue shirt, as we call it, to a Chief Petty Officer. And then the other one is don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. And for some reason, those two concepts have always stuck with me. And as I thought about those two concepts over the years, I mean, in my mind, they apply not only to the Navy or even to a unit within the Navy, but to any organization, even a family. And you've heard people speak about how I took care of the troops that I had the privilege of mentoring, teaching, of training. And I took that very seriously. It was something that I enjoyed and continue to enjoy, and hope that I'll be able to continue to do that for years to come. But somewhere along the line, and I hope some of you aspiring leaders, whether it's going to be chiefs, officers, whatever it is, leading petty officers, I hope you listen to this because I believe it's great wisdom. You can do all you can here in the Navy in your career and working with your teammates, with your shipmates, and helping them in any way that you can. And it's a great privilege, it's a great opportunity, it's a great blessing. But, and I'm just speaking for myself, sometimes it was a challenge for me to balance my Navy career with my family and that entity, that organization. And I know that my family made a lot of sacrifices. And you know, I just want to let them know how much I appreciate them, you know, for allowing me to do that, because I know there were sacrifices, and I know there were times when I just struggled finding a balance. I don't perfectly think you can find balance, but I want them to know that I've never lost my family to know that I've never lost sight of how important they are to me, and how that part of my life is the most important part of my Navy career, my civilian career. It doesn't matter what it is. The being part of the solution versus being part of the problem, or maybe even being the problem. Again, I believe the same thing applies. It doesn't matter what kind of entity or organization. And you know, a lot of times in the Navy and a lot of times in life, we choose to be a good friend or choose not to do maybe the right thing or the best thing because we don't want to compromise somebody's friendship, or we don't want to compromise something that's so minuscule compared to what the overall mission is. And again, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be the Navy, it can be a family, it can be anything. And you know, recently here in the Navy with my good friend Lieutenant Tavera, we've experienced something, and you know, it just hit me like a ton of bricks that, you know, and I'm talking mostly to my shipmates out there. You know, I mean, there's a mission that needs to be done out there, and there is never ever a good reason to compromise that mission because you want to protect somebody or protect a friendship, or I don't know, just do something so that you don't seem like or come across as being the bad guy or the bad gal. I hope that makes sense. And I just I hope that my shipmates and those that maybe aspire to follow in my footsteps will remember those two things. It was one last thing that I'd like to share, and then a final thank you. In the last 10 plus years, I've been part of the cargo handling community, and in particular part of Charlie Company here in Las Vegas. And I was, when I came to the unit, I was a new chief, only been a chief for a year, wet behind the ears, still learning. And I learned very quickly to operate within the unit something similar to what a lot of us might see in a family. We truly do care about one another. You know, some of us use the word love quite often. And that's how some of us leaders in the unit chose to run this unit. And I'd never seen any or experienced it anything like it before. It was, let's see, well, you know what, I have it written down actually. I have some notes so I don't. I wrote it big so that I could read it. But it was the, if I can find this real quick. It was a famous rock and roller, right, Tommy James? He wrote, "The beauty of life can only survive if we love one another." And I might add another word in there, serve one another. And that's how myself and a couple of other leaders in the unit chose to operate Charlie Company. And I just want to thank, in particular, my friend Chief Chris Franklin, Chief Doug Burry, and some of the others that we've been together for a while. UT1 Castro, Petty Officer Stone, Doobie, and I'm probably leaving one or two out, but we've been through a lot together, just a small core of us, and we chose to operate the unit that way, and I truly hope that you guys continue to do it because it works. It works. One last final thank you. My family is not just my wife and my children, my sons, but I have a lot of family here today, and I'm very grateful to have them here, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles. A lot of people have traveled long distances to be here. And I just can't tell you how grateful I am for that. But I'd like my wife, Stacy, to come up forward. Please. I forwarded this email to you. I don't know if you even read it, but a good friend of mine, this young-looking woman here, she deserves so much acknowledgement. I just want you to look around to the people in uniform here. See, you are as much a mentor and inspiration to these folks that you see in uniform than I was. You were as much a big part of that. And I just want to thank you. You've never had a chance to meet, and there's many others that aren't even here today. And those of you that are in uniform that know me and have served with me, I hope maybe that you take an opportunity to come in and at least introduce yourself to my wife, Stacy. She's been great. 22 years is a long time, right? That's 2 decades. That's a long time. And she's been there. She's been there the whole way. She said not to do it. She's been there the whole way, been supportive, and you heard one of the lieutenants talk about it, and it's all true. And I just want to thank you.